'cause you deserve the glory and the honor. I lift my hands in worship and I bless your holy name. You deserve the glory, all the honor. I lift my hands in worship and I bless your holy name. 'Cause you are great. You do miracles so great. There is no one else like you.
So we just thank you, Heavenly Father, just for allowing us all to be here on today, Father God. We just thank you, Father God, for just being all-powerful, Father God, and all-knowing, Father God. We just thank you, Father God, for another day of life, God. We rejoice, Father God, in you, Father God. We give you praise on today, Father God. We glorify you on today, Jesus. And we just thank you, Father God, for Christina, Father God. I thank you, Father God, for allowing her, Father God, to be healed, Father God. I thank you, Father God, for sticking to your promises, God. Your word said by your stripes, Father God, we are healed, Father God. So I thank you, God, that she is healed, Father God. I thank you, Lord, that she's a living testimony on today, Father God. I thank you, Father God, that you will use her, Father God, as a vessel, Father God, to encourage and help others, Father God, that's going through the same process, Lord. So I just thank you for her today, God. I thank you, God, for hearing her prayers and her family prayers and her friends' prayers, Father God. I thank you, Father God, for their requests, Father God, being granted, Jesus. So we thank you, Father God. And I pray, Father God, as she goes through the surgery, God, that you are with her, Father God. I pray, Father God, for a quick recovery, Father God. I pray, Father God, that you continue to give her strength, Father God. And even when she feels weak, Father God, that she relies on you, Father God. So I thank you, Lord. I thank you for her family, God. I pray, God, that you be with them, Father God. I thank you, Father God, for her friends as well, God. You be with them, God. You know their situations. You know their circumstances, God. So I pray for even me, Lord. Pray for all our hearts, God. Just have your way. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I just want to thank Felicia for this gathering that she planned for all of us to do. She had to do it. She been stepping forth for everything she did for the team. She didn't have to do it, but she did it. I think each and everyone in this room, know for everything that they did, for everything they did, the praise and everything they didn't have to, but they did it. Lord, I ask that as Tina go in, as she goes to surgery, Lord, like I always say, like I told Tina, you're the one who has that say so. You're the one who says everything will be done. As cancer free as I've been told her, baby, you're gonna always be free. No matter what. I pray, Lord, unto her child, that she know that her child, she has a wonderful blessing with her. She has some powerful cousins, sisters, and friends. Lord, I pray for everyone who's here, asking that you always keep her covered in your blood, Jesus, so that she's home here, like I always tell her, Tina, baby, you always comfort. The people, the doctor could take this, but God is your doctor. Yes. What happened? The doctor said that, that you was cancer. Guess what, baby? You been was cancer. Yes. Don't you never think otherwise. The devil think that he can do, but guess what? God showed him 10 times better. Like, yo, I got this. I have to keep her covered no matter what. I said, God, everyone, each and every one of us in here, that you keep us covered in your blood. No matter what, that we will be in your will, that we will be good, Lord. And I ask you everything, Lord. Thank you so much. We had like 1,000 times. Thank you so much. Yes. And as we always remember, Lord, that we are the head and not the tail. Amen. Keep everyone in your prayers that we all pray for. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God, we thank you for this week. I'm
Asian chili?
Tried and true with thanks, with thanks. I'll be living sanctuary for you.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
God, this shot is for life. We thank God for sparing life, for His glory. Like she's here with no strings attached. We love you. Warriors to come, cancer free.
It's your girl Donnie Don Diva with another episode of What's on Your Mind. Today on Purging Thoughts we have Tina. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good. So I'm glad that you're here and you have big news that you want to share with us.
Yep.
So before we get into that, right? So I want to do a fun fact, right? So before we start, I do want to let everyone know Tina has her child in the background who doesn't know how to sit still.
Yeah.
But I'm very glad that you have your family here that's being supportive in the background.
Yeah.
So I know it's something that's near dear to you, so being here is very important to you. So, fun fact, right? So I'll say my fun fact,
Okay.
right? So one thing a lot of people don't know about me is I only eat boiled eggs, right? So I don't eat scrambled eggs, I don't eat fried eggs, I don't eat omelets or anything like that. Like I could get away with eggs and like Chinese food. Like if I go to like what's the restaurant called? Like Benihana's. If I go to Benihana's, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't eat any type of eggs. Alright. So what's the fun fact about you?
That I was a town boy. I used to run in the middle of the street barefooted, no shoes on, with the boys on the block trying to play football with them. Yeah, so I was a town boy.
Yes, I mean you're so girly now. That's like
I know I did a whole transition.
that's a big transition right there. All right, so I want to give you this platform to go ahead and share your story. So you start wherever you want to start and share your story.
Well, first and foremost, I'm here because this year I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. Thankfully to God, I'm actually healed now. I just have to go through the surgery process. But I just kind of want to share my story because what kept me going is faith. It's just knowing that, okay, this is not gonna be where my life ends. Colon cancer did take my daddy away from me, but this fight was basically for him, and I did it. It's just one more step to go, and then I'm done.
Man, when I got that text message, right, I didn't understand what I was reading at first. So, you know, a lot of people do think that cancer is like when you get old, you know, like 45 and up. But you start to see a lot more of the young generation starting to get cancer and stuff like that. It's starting to affect us more. But walk us through how you ended up finding out you had cancer.
Well, so what happened was, I'll take it back to November. I was in Orlando with my daughter for her birthday. We was in Orlando, and then we went to the theme park. But for some reason, whenever I was walking, like I was feeling a sharp pain in my stomach, and then when I would use the restroom, I would see like blood in my stool or whatever. And mind you, like I said before, my dad passed away from colon cancer, so I kind of prolonged it. Like I was like, I don't know, I was just like, okay, whatever, maybe it's not that. I didn't think it was that, so I prolonged it. And then this year I was coming down from Tampa, and then I had to use the restroom, so we made a stop at the gas station. And then before I could even make it to the toilet, there was like a blob of slime and blood that just came out my rectum. So that was kind of fishy, you know, it didn't seem right. So I ended up going to the emergency room, and when I went, the doctor in the ER, she originally was gonna do like a CAT scan and everything like that, but my blood work was coming back saying I was pregnant. So she was like, you know what, well, we'll wait 2 days to see if that number changes, and if it does, then we'll go ahead and follow up with the CAT scan and so forth and so on. Luckily, with me, after speaking to my daddy twin, he was so persistent. He was like, you know what makes you dumb is knowing or thinking something is wrong with you and not, you know, trying to figure out what it was. So I had went ahead and scheduled a colonoscopy, but this was after I went to the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room, and I did the follow-up 2 days later. My blood level, my HCG level went down, so I wasn't pregnant, but the ER doctor that was there, it wasn't the same doctor I seen the first time. So with him, he just went ahead and he was like, okay, we'll just check your rectum, and he checked my behind, and he was like, okay, I see a hemorrhoid there. So he basically gave me the supplements for hemorrhoids. He treated me for hemorrhoids. Luckily, I already had a colonoscopy scheduled like 2 weeks following that. And so when I did go ahead and do the colonoscopy, it came back, the doctor came back and he said, hey, you have colon cancer. He was like, he knows what the tumor looked like, and he said there's no doubt in his mind that that's what it is.
And he gave you this prior, like, to the any test coming back.
Yeah, to any test coming back. He said he knew what it was once he seen it. There was no doubt in his mind. And because I had already gave him the rundown of like
Your family
my
history,
history, so yeah, he was like, you know what? That's exactly what it is.
And I was actually reading up on it, and it's, although cancer is genetics, colon cancer is not really genetics.
It actually is genetics.
So because I was
I actually have what's called the Lynch syndrome, which is genetics.
Mhm.
So I basically got it from my dad's genes, and he basically got it from his mother's genes. So my grandmother from my dad's side passed away from colon cancer, and he did as well. And then my uncles on my daddy's side, they all had the polyps. Luckily, they got it removed, but it's basically genetics for me. So I have what's called Lynch syndrome.
Okay, because I was reading, it was like that the colon cancer it can be like your lifestyle, your diet.
Yeah,
there's
that
a lot
too.
more of that factors into it.
Yeah, usually for colon cancer, a lot of older people usually get tested around like the age of 50 and stuff like that. But because it's in my genes, like it's there. So with me, I would have to go get tested like every year to make sure there's no polyp there. And because I have Lynch syndrome, I'm prone to any cancer you could think of. I'm prone to ovarian cancer, breast cancer, cervical cancer. So in the long run, they want me to do a hysterectomy just to prevent my chances of getting ovarian or cervical cancer. So yeah, it's deep.
Just to even think about that is something like that I can't even like imagine myself having to go ahead and remove these parts that are in me.
I feel like that kind of makes you who you are. Like when
woman
they told me that, even when they told me like before I did my radiation treatment, they was like, well, off the bat, you won't be able to have kids. And like it kind of crushed me because I used to be the type of person that say, oh, I don't want no more kids. My daughter drive me crazy, whatever. But then I'm like, life has a way of making you want to take back the things you said. Because it's like for me to know, like, okay, my eggs are fried, my ovaries is fried. I mean, I could do in vitro, but it's kind of like I would be a surrogate. I mean, I'm okay with it, but it's just like, dang.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, it's not a part of you, but you won't get that opportunity again.
Yeah.
So I mean, because like when I was reading up on it, I kind of got in my feelings because for me, it was like I don't have kids, right? So you have a daughter, and it's like I can't imagine. For me, it's scary to imagine the possibility of me wanting this and not being able to have it.
Exactly.
And it's like, so, you know, when you're hearing that, okay, you can't have kids anymore. You know, it did say that it's not that you, like, everybody can't have kids after having it, but when you have, like, radiation in that area, it makes you more, like, your chances of getting pregnant starts to really reduce, especially if you're in the childbearing age.
Yeah.
So
and then with me, the how can I say it? My treatment, the levels of radiation, it was high. So what the my radiation doctor, she was telling me, she was like, what you could have done was, or what you can do is you can do a surgery where you move your ovaries higher up so that when you do the radiation that you know, but in my mind I was thinking, okay, stage 3, after stage 3, stage 4, I'm almost kind of there. And then I thought about Jada. I'm like, I refuse to leave my daughter behind. Like, I'm okay with just having her because it's like, if I'm not here, then who does she have?
Yeah.
I mean, I know my family. She has her dad and my sisters, my mom, but then it's like,
it's not the
same. My biggest thing was Jada. So I was like, you know what? Hey, I'm okay with not being able to have anymore as long as I have her and as long as she have me. That's what's important.
So I know that you kind of got emotional a little bit in this particular spot with having more kids. Did you ever sit down and speak with anyone like about that thought process, or that was just like when you came up with that decision, you came up about it on your own?
About
Like not
just being okay with it.
yeah.
I mean, my sister and my aunt was in the room, but they didn't. I'm an adult. Like
Yeah.
I make my own decisions, and when they told me that, like, you know, I couldn't have no more kids, I was just like, okay, like it didn't even matter, because I'm like, as long as I'm here to take care of the one that I do have,
yeah.
and that's what's important to me. Like I'm okay with that, and you know, there's other options like in vitro adoption. So I know if I really, really want another kid, even though we wouldn't share the same blood, like. I mean, I can always have another kid if I do want to.
Yeah. So have you spoken to like your daughter in details?
About she don't know the full details on what's going on, but like when I was doing chemo and radiation, like I just told her, you know, mommy's sick in her stomach or whatever and stuff, and then sometimes she'll be like, oh, mommy, you have to eat this, or mommy, you can't eat that, or you can't drink that. She's very motherly, and she's been that way, and she's still that way. So,
and I mean, you have a big family, so it's like you said, there's other options, and I don't feel like Jada would lose anything because she has, you know, her cousins that are very close.
yeah.
So that I think that God kind of set that up perfectly for you.
It's crazy because I was looking into the meaning of Jada, and the meaning of Jada is he knows, or the knowing one. So when I seen that, I was like, okay, God knows what he's doing. He gave me Jada for a reason, and if she's, like I said, if she's my only one, not saying she is gonna be my only one, because I have been thinking about in vitro in the long run, but I'm like, okay, God knew, like, all of this was in his plans. Like, he knew my father passed away from it, and like, he knew that he was gonna get me through it, and that's exactly what happened. He got me through it.
So there are 5 stages, right? Like there's stage 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
And you had stage 3.
Yeah.
But you didn't have, it wasn't aggressive or anything like that.
The thing is, there's like, how can I say it? There's like sub stages within the stages.
Yeah.
So there's stage 3, but there's stage 3A, stage 3B, and C. So with mine, I'm not sure whether it was A or B, but it was still localized. It didn't spread onto none of the other organs yet. So that's, I was lucky really, because it was still localized. It broke out of the colon wall. It broke out of the wall, but it was still in that same area. So it didn't really spread.
So I'm like, when I got the text message in a group chat, you know, you were informing of us, you were making us part of your journey. My mom had cancer, and I immediately thought of, oh my gosh, Tina's gonna lose all her hair. And I don't know why that was the first thing that I thought about. But I thought, you know, chemo, I thought radiation, I thought that you were going to be sick.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to lose all your hair. You're going to have no eyebrows, no lashes. I thought you were going to lose a lot of weight. And then I was like at work when I got the text message, and I had to go sit down. Because the first thing that popped in my head was like a different version of you. Like an unrecognizable version of you. And that did not happen. And you stayed beautiful throughout the process. You had life within you.
Yeah. Like when he said it, like I shed like a few tears, but then I was okay after that.
Yeah.
And then like when he called, Kalisha was my ride, so she came in to pick me up, and then she looked at me, and then I kind of told her, I was like it's not good. Yeah. And the doctor came in and he confirmed it, and then she broke down crying, but like I cried a little bit, but for some reason I just couldn't really like. I don't know what it was. Like it's just that like God was with me the whole
He gave you the
time.
strength.
Yeah. And then even with my treatment, the doctors was like, "Wow, like you did good."
You're handling it
They
very
kept
well.
telling me like you did good. Like the symptoms, the only symptoms I really got was like the loose stool or whatever. But they kept telling me you did good, you did good. Luckily with my treatment, the chemo that I took is called Zolota. It's the pills. So what they really wanted to do was target like the digestive area. So it's a supplement or whatever. So that's the area they really wanted to target. So I didn't have to go through the other one that goes through the bloodstream. With that one, you usually lose your hair. That was one of my concerns too. I was like, damn, I have all this hair. And I'm like, everybody always tell me, oh, you never wear your hair out. You got all this hair. And I'm like, damn, look at life. I'm about to lose all this hair that I didn't cherish, you know. But thankfully, like I still have my hair. Yeah, like I'm still there.
So I know your sister's in the background, right? Sisters.
Hi.
So real quick, right, Kalisha? I know that you guys can't see Kalisha, and Alani's being very terrible back there.
Alani and Jada right now, baby.
Kalisha, what was going through your mind? They can hear you though.
When she got diagnosed,
When you came to pick her up.
the lady, they was like, the doctor wants to speak to you. And I was like, okay, in my head I'm thinking, okay, maybe she's weak or whatever. So I went in there, whatever. Even though we have a history of calling cancer in general, Tina is young. You know, that's not in my head or whatever. So I went in there, and Tina wasn't on the bed. She was in the bathroom. So I sat there. I'm flicking it up on Snapchat and stuff or whatever. And then she came out and she sat down.
Caitlin!
So I was like, come on, let's go. Like, I see her. Like, come, like, we are. And she was like, the doctor want to talk to you. I was like, talk to you about what? Or whatever. And then Tina put her head down. And I was like, what, Tina? And then she shook her head. Like, and then she was like, I have colon cancer. I was like, no. Like, no. Like, as an older sister, like, I felt like since my dad been gone, I tried to play that role or whatever. So I did my colonoscopy. I was fine. Now my younger sister, like, did it and she's not. And it's like, God, like, what are you doing? Like, in my head, I'm thinking the worst. Like, my dad died of this. Like, this can only lead to death. Like, that's what's in my mind. I'm like this can't be it or whatever. So when the doctor came, like, he heard me crying. He was like, okay, so I take it as, you know, like, you already know. He was like, but what I'm gonna tell you is we're gonna get through it and we're gonna beat it. We're gonna take a picture and say, like, she beat colon cancer. So I sucked it up. He was like, I'm gonna need you to do these steps or whatever for the sake of your sister. And we did just that or whatever. And I made sure I was there with her every step of the way, and I wasn't gonna leave her side. Like, I was not gonna do that. So,
And then Sammy.
My name is Simone.
So mom,
Yeah, I'm the mother.
she's the middle child, and I can relate to that though. Sometimes feeling like you gotta kind of balance both sides. You know what I'm saying? So how was your take on it?
So with my reaction, Kalisha called me, crying. It's not that so I was hurt, but I had to be the strength for both of them, so I couldn't show my emotion like in most situations. But to me, the way I took it as, I kind of expected the worst because it's hereditary, really bad on my dad's side. So I kind of prepared myself for the worst in case, the bad news came along, which it did. So Kalisha was boo-hoo crying. I was like, we're going to get through this. It's going to be all right. You got to suck it up for Tina. Like, thug that shit out. Don't let her see you cry or else it's going to weaken her. You got to have a positive state of mind. So that's how excuse my French. So that's why I just kept it. I didn't let her see me cry or else it would have weakened her. I mean, the doctor told us
sometimes it's best to look the enemy in the eye. So he did like a mini colonoscopy test, and we saw the cancer. It looked like a mushroom. So Tina was kind of nervous. I was ready to see this devil, because my dad died of it, and all I kept thinking was like, damn, Daddy coming to get her, like he's coming to get his baby. And I was just like, we ain't gonna let it happen.
Yeah, because Tina is the baby.
I was a daddy's girl. Like, truthfully, there was times at work when I used to be like, damn, God, why me? Like, is it because, like, I still miss my daddy? Is it because I was so close to him? But then I was like, nah, that has to be a message behind this. Like, it has to be, I mean, I don't know if it's for my sisters or whoever it is. Like, once you keep faith, once you believe, like, you'll get through whatever situation you could think of.
You know, I told myself, listen, I don't do well with emotions, right? I can't look at this girl no more. I'm sorry.
I didn't even think I would be crying, but it's like sitting here talking about it is like, it's really an intimate and deep topic, you know? I didn't really know, like, I felt this way about this situation until now. It's like, looking back, thinking about everything, and just like, damn, like my mom had to go through, you know, like just hearing her baby has cancer. But what my mom told me is like, she got her strength from me, from seeing that I was not worried. I wasn't worried. There was not one time that I was worried, like, and I don't know where that came from, but I'm like, God got me through a lot of other situations, so I was like, this is nothing. I know he's gonna see me through.
It's yes.
Oh, to add on, right? I mean, you know, Tina also did her colon test 2 years before they told us, because since it's hereditary, the doctors didn't know that it was hereditary. So they informed us to do it 10 years prior to the death date of my dad, which would be at the age of 29. But because it's hereditary, it was supposed to be 15 years prior to the death date. So she did hers 2 years before the 10-year date mark, and she ended up happening. Had she waited till she was 29, she would have probably died.
So. And then another thing is, like, I just feel like a lot of us, I want to say younger generation, just us people in general, like, we tend to sit there and ignore certain things. We'll have a stomach ache and be like, oh, that's just a stomach ache. Or we'll see blood in our stool and be like, oh, it's because I was constipated or something like that. And it's like, in reality, it could be something far worse. Like, what really made me go do the colon test was not only because my uncle was in my ear, but when I seen that blob of slime and blood come out my rectum, I'm like, yo, something is not right. Like, this is not normal, you know? But we tend to ignore the little stuff. Even headaches will be like, oh, it's just a headache or a migraine, when in reality, it's our body telling us, hey, something is wrong. Like, go get checked, go get tested to make sure you're okay. Because in the end, it's like, you kind of saving the people that surround you. You're saving them from that heartache of either losing you or, you know, of you going through like something way worse.
And you could have caught it
in advance. Yeah. Like, I would just, on my rides, like my car rides to work or coming home from work, and then there was times where I would be in my room, I would lock my door, no one would know. Like, I would say I'm conservative and I'm private. So I would be in my room and I would get on my knees and I would pray. There was times I would be in the shower and I would get on my knees and I would pray, because it's like praying is everything. Like, and like just believing and having that faith, and that's, like I said before, that's what got me through. That's what I don't know. That's what got me through.
Did you have any fears at any point? Did you have like any doubts?
There were times where, like I said, like when I would question it, like, why me? But this would go back to me thinking about my daddy and how he didn't make it through. So that was my only fear. Was kind of like, okay, dang, is it gonna be just like a repeat of what my daddy went through, kind of like of what his mama went through? I'm like, okay, am I gonna be like, you know, the next one? But then I was like, you know what, no. I'm gonna get through it. And it's crazy because my cousin on my dad's side, she's what, I think she's 31. This same year she was diagnosed with colon cancer as well. But this was in February. Luckily she was able to, do the surgery or whatever, and she took it down. But again, it's genetics. She has Lynch syndrome as well. But I don't know. I just try to stay positive. I kept telling myself, like, the mind is stronger than the body. As long as I tell myself, like, I'm not sick, I'm fine, then I feel like my body would register that I'm not sick, I'm fine. And that helped me out a lot.
That definitely played a big role. Like, when mom was in the hospital, mom was always up, like, beat and stuff like that. And it was this lady, she was just like, looked like she's shivering up. And then when mom came and started talking to her hand, like, she'll be like this, and then slowly you start to see her open, like, literally her body started to stretch. Because she was in a different mindset. She had someone to speak with her. She had some type of interaction. So your mind definitely plays a big role.
It does.
So you were going through this in silence. You didn't tell you told people, but social media didn't know. A lot of people didn't know.
They didn't. My reason being, I know a lot of people is curious, like, oh, why I didn't know, or why she didn't tell anybody. And my thing is because once you hear the word cancer, people automatically think death or negativity. And with me and my situation, I didn't want that. I didn't want none of that negative energy around me, or no one thinking negative. Even with my sisters and them, I told them, like, I don't want, like, don't cry around me. Like, I don't need, like, I don't want to see that. I don't need that type of energy, because I know this is not going to be what takes me. This is not going to be the end of my life. So that's why I didn't really share it with the world just yet. I just shared it, with my family and my close friends, because I didn't want that negative energy at all. Because that's another thing, I feel like that plays a factor, and then you don't know who really wishes on your downfall, who doesn't want to see you prosper. So that's why I didn't really tell any and just everybody. That was my reason.
So now, going into, let's say you are going into, like, relationships.
We can take it there.
Okay. Okay. So, is that a conversation, like, that you have? Is that something you think about? Like, if that impacts?
I think about it from time to time, but then it's like, okay, so after I do my surgery, which is, I'm doing my surgery very soon. It's the first week of September. I'm going to end up having an ostomy bag, which is a shit bag in other words.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I feel like, I know I'm not going to be comfortable with it. So it's kind of like, relationships. Right now, I'm not really thinking about it. That's the last thing. Right now, my thing is just, fully being healed and done with all of this. And then maybe next year, if there's someone that I meet or whatever, then yeah, maybe. But I don't know, not right now.
So, quote, the shit bag.
Yeah.
How long are you going to have it for?
They told me it's going to run concurrent with my chemo. My chemo is going to be for 3 months, so I should have it for 3 months. But I won't get on chemo until a month after my surgery. So typically by January, I should be, like, back to my normal self. No more shit bag, yeah. And hopefully I could turn up. Even though I don't turn up because I'm boring, but yeah. I'm hoping by January, like, I should be done with everything.
You had to change your diet. Yeah. You had to change, like, you couldn't drink.
Yeah,
after a while.
I couldn't drink. At the time when I was doing radiation and chemo, I couldn't eat raw foods. I couldn't eat, like, salads and stuff, because it would irritate my stomach. It would send me to the bathroom and stuff like that. So those things I had to keep away from. And I had lost weight, but it wasn't much. I lost like 4 or 5 pounds. It wasn't much because after I did lose that weight, my weight was stable, so I was okay. But then right after I was done with those treatments, radiation and chemo, I was eating whatever we wanted to eat.
All right. So let's talk about this party that we had.
Yeah.
So you figured out, okay, we threw your surprise party, and you figured out, well, your sisters, I won't say we, your sisters, right, threw your surprise party and invited some of your closest friends and family.
Yeah.
And you figured out something.
I did.
I think you figured it out because of Sammy.
That's
Yeah, it was because of Stacy.
I mean, well, the way I am, I'm very observant and like I pay attention to the things that's going on around me. So I was home in bed sleeping, and then I heard the kids say, Stacy is here. Now, mind you, that's my best friend.
Yeah.
There's not one time she's coming over that she don't call and say, Tina, are you home?
Yeah.
So when she came over, I mean, I didn't think much of it, but I'm like, okay, whatever. She's here. So we was chatting. And then Sammy came home early, and I'm like, wait, but why Sammy is here? She said she get up at 4. It's like 3:30. And then so she came barging in the room. She's like, oh, you not ready yet? I'm like, ready for what? She's like, oh, we going out, this, that, whatever. So I got ready, but in the midst of getting ready, I'm like, something ain't right. Because Sammy went missing. I don't know if she went to the store or wherever she went. She ain't tell me nothing, and then I was calling her. She wasn't answering. So long story short, we going to drop the kids off to my auntie house or whatever. So we pull up there. And then I'm like, mind you, I'm observing everything. So she rushed the kids out the car or whatever and stuff like that. And then she called me. She's like, oh, Tina, I left the dog food, the bag of the dog food in the car. Oh, bring it inside. So all along I'm laughing because I'm like, bruh, I know my family. I know my peoples. So I'm laughing. I'm like, okay, let me see what's going on. So I'm heading to the door or whatever. Then I see one of the blinds move. I'm like, okay. I already know they up to something. So as soon as I walk in the door, everybody is there.
Poke your head.
Yeah, she didn't even let people say surprise. We was like, wait.
And then we didn't know what to do. And it was like, we froze.
It was like Survivor.
Yeah, but it's kind of like I
baby.
knew y'all was up to something. I just knew it because I'm like, I didn't really celebrate like when they told me, you know, like I'm healed or whatever, the cancer is gone. I didn't really celebrate, and I know the way my family is. I know they would not have let me like go do the surgery, would not celebrate the fact that I got through this part of, the process. So I kind of knew it was bound to happen one way or another. And
I would say this, right? There was a lot of text messages that was going on for a while. And I would say everybody did a very good job at not telling you.
They did.
Right?
They did.
And so everybody was like, okay, Kalisha was like, I need this, I'm doing this is the time, this is the location. Everything's running smooth until the day of.
Yes, Sammy.
So Kalisha's like, Daddy, are you taking Tina? And I was like, no, Sammy's taking her, right? And then Sammy's like, I got a good reason to take her out the house. I'm like, okay, whatever. Then Sammy's like, oh, y'all taking forever, I'm about to leave. It was like, Sammy, not everybody's there, right?
Not me.
It was
really
Tina
me,
and
'cause
Joe.
I was like, I'm about to change my damn mind.
No,
Yeah,
but the reason why it was Sammy, because Sammy made you get ready too early.
But I said I was going to be there on the dot at 5 p.m.
You said I was okay.
And everyone agreed. Everyone said
Listen.
okay, and they know me, Tina.
All right. So
On time.
originally, this is the plan. We do the interview, right? After the interview, we go there, right?
Facts.
So the interview was supposed to start 4:30, 5 o'clock, right? So 4:30, 5 o'clock, running about an hour. That put you at what time? 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But she's already
So-
ready at 5.
So we're telling everybody 5, so that way everybody can get there on time.
yeah.
You know how we are. We always late, right?
Never on time.
Never on time. Sammy the only person that would get. Sammy would get up. We say 3 o'clock in the afternoon. She getting
kids
up.
parties.
Yes.
I don't.
She probably pull up there at 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
and just sit there and
The
wait.
birthday person.
Right? So now we're telling Sammy, go to the corner store. No, I can't.
She's mad.
I can't.
She's cussing me out.
I'm like, Sammy, drive slow. No, she's saying I'm driving too slow.
But I was doing the speed limit.
I did.
She
I told her
encouraged
she was
Jada.
going
It was like,
so
Auntie Sammy,
slow.
you're going so slow.
I was
Like, Donnie, I told you
Yeah.
not to let her go with Tina.
And then we at the line and we was like, man, Tina's gonna see like at least 2 cars
I
of people
know.
that waiting that you know, right, in this line. And then we're like, and
I'm
then
at the gate.
she's like, I'm like, Dee, call her and tell her go get you some pain. Until Dee called and said she had a headache.
And guess what?
Yeah,
I got
but when
cussed
she
out
did
again.
that, that's another thing that made me kind of assume. I'm like, okay, they gotta be cooking and something ain't ready. That's why Didi sitting there. Cause I'm like, what did he need? And Sammy's like, oh, she needs some pain pills or she ain't gonna watch these kids. I'm like, yeah, yeah, right.
She's so
I
rude.
So
don't
no, honestly though, going back to Sammy coming home early, that was gonna happen regardless.
Because of the
Because of
interview.
the
Like
interview.
I told you.
And I normally get out early sometime when it's slow. So Tina just
So,
want to be fast.
She got you ready too early,
She did.
and then because you
Because the
you
thing
getting
is,
ready.
when I was getting ready, I was more so rushing. Cause
Yeah,
I'm
work.
like, with Sammy, when Sammy's like, oh, hurry up, da-da-da, like you really gotta be real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I thought we was really going out on the date or whatever. So I'm saying here, I'm rushing to get ready when in reality I could have just been relaxing
And taking your time.
Yeah,
Yes,
like
the
I was
thing
real
is-
life rushing.
The thing is, she had to go to work. So Tina's like, hurry up before I change my mind, because I need a rest for work. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I said 5 o'clock on the dot. These bitches better be ready, because I'm on the dot. And everyone agreed. They didn't say no, 5:30.
No,
They
but
said,
Sammy,
okay.
but you know.
But y'all
You
know too. But y'all know
This,
too.
you know what? We do know Sammy.
Exactly.
We do know Sammy.
That's why I said don't let her take Tina.
No, that's why
Yes.
y'all should have said otherwise. And y'all should have said, give us 5:30.
No.
Y'all said okay, and I
I
put
told-
dot capitalized.
I told-
D-O-T. You know, like
I told Sammy, I said, Sammy, just wait like 15 minutes after everybody said they're on the road and then drive super slow. And she's like, I'm leaving right now. And you know, I'm like, okay, whatever. But still, although you kind of knew what was going on, Sammy ruined the surprise. We're going to play Sammy and
We're gonna
Stacy.
blame her BFF.
Sammy and Stacy. Stacy, next time, please call.
No, I blame Tina too.
No, we're
She's
blaming
being
you.
fast.
We're blaming you.
That's a nosy.
So, it was still a beautiful surprise.
It was nice. I enjoyed it.
I wore blue today because of you.
And I wore blue, even though it ain't the right blue. It's blue.
Blue is
Donnie
blue.
got the blue.
And,
Blue is blue though. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like okay, like breast cancer is pink.
Pink.
There's
Yeah, different
different
shades.
shades of pink.
Yeah.
Whatever pink. Some is bold, some are light. Whatever
That's
you
true.
feel like.
Pink is pink. Yeah.
Pink is pink, blue is blue.
Yeah.
That's
So,
Right.
you know, everybody was there. Stacy said a very beautiful prayer.
And Nadalia.
And Nadalia. Butter said, at first, I'm not going to lie. At first, I was like, man, Butter playing. Right? But it was beautiful. And what she was saying was very beautiful. I think that everybody was there. The kids were there. At first, we said no kids. Right? Like we said, like I said, no kids. Don't come to my office. Don't come to my office. Right? But they're here. And it's still beautiful. Even though you hear them in the background, it's still beautiful. It reminds you of your family. You know, it reminds you of what you're fighting for, what you're living for.
It's
You know what I'm
motivation.
saying? Yeah, it's a very beautiful thing. And our friendship
It's bigger.
we have ups and downs throughout the friendship. Our friendship has been
Rocky
like,
for years.
Yeah.
but It's
That's
been
a
for
part of life.
years, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't, sometimes when you're not around people that can understand what you're going
They
through,
don't-
it's like,
they
when I
don't
say
get
I
it.
lost my father,
It's
you
just
know,
like, oh,
I did too.
They,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did too.
Yeah, some-
And to see you sit here
Today.
right, is such a beautiful thing. And then I'm saying, you wore cancer well.
Yes,
You
oh
wore
my
cancer
God, did
well.
she? That's what I felt like. She deserved this celebration. Like
Yes.
they don't, people don't go out like that. Like,
Yeah.
you see the worst of it.
Yes.
This was a beautiful side. Like they say, ugly duckling and beautiful swan. It's like she didn't go through no ugly stages.
Yeah.
She didn't go through that. And yeah, like like she did that.
Yeah. But what happens next?
I mean, next after the surgery, well, I'll be out of work for like a few months, and I'm just gonna be relaxing, chilling with my family. If I want to travel, I'll be able to do whatever I want with the bag. So if I want to travel and chill to keep my mind off of everything, then that's what I'm gonna do. But Jada's birthday is in October. I'm already planning her birthday. Like, I don't know. I'm really waiting on the next celebration. So that's why I'm more so like already planning her 5th birthday, because I want it to be a big thing where all the kids are there, all my family and friends, because it's kind of gonna be a celebration for me too. So that's why
And then you get to
I'm trying to
be a part
make
of
it
your
go
daughter's-
big.
yeah.
It's another year of life for her, and I'm able to be there, so I'm going big and all out. So that's really
Keisha just changed her whole clothes in front of us. That's the kind of stuff. No,
I'm like,
but I'm just to say that's what we talk about family, right?
and family.
So
they say I gotta go to work, but I ain't gonna miss this one.
before we call her in, Kalisha, what's one thing that you would have? What's one thing that you would want to say to Tina?
That
Right now. You can take the water too.
I'm happy the way she went about this journey. There was no negativity. Everything was positive. Throughout the hospital rides, we laughed. It's like she wasn't even sick.
Yeah.
So I'm happy she kept that spirit, because that spirit kept us sane. Because even though I am the oldest and I try to be there and stuff like that, it hurts.
Yeah.
But because her reaction was so different, it gave me faith. It gave me hope.
Oh my God! All of this on camera.
Yes. Listen.
Ryan,
Sorry, Donnie. I'm sorry.
Hey, and
Unedited.
for future reference, hey,
No kids
no
allowed.
kids allowed.
For this
For
reason.
this reason.
Exactly.
But like I said, it's very beautiful that they're here, and they're getting to see and understand a little bit.
But believe it or not, they were a part of
They
it,
were
because
part of it.
there's times where Sammy's at work, my mom gotta go to work. Okay, guys, we went to the hospital, and they were there.
Yeah.
Like, so to be honest, even though everybody else played a role, but us in the house together, Tina, Sammy, me, and the kids, like, we all were there.
Yeah.
We all were there.
And Grandma and John and Uncle Mallory and Cindy.
I don't know what is she talking about.
Anyway,
And someone stopped her. Donnie.
What you want me to do?
I thought she was gonna stop at a certain name, but
It's so funny.
oh my God!
No kids allowed.
One thing, Tia, I would say this to you. You know, like I said, I don't cry, so I'm not gonna cry. But I think that you were the person that needed to go through this journey. You know, every word that you said about being strong and doing certain things, it's not to say that Kalisha and Sammy couldn't handle it, but you were ready for it from the jump. You were prepared. You know what I'm saying? You mentally was there, and a lot of you that strength is what what got you through it. And I just pray and hope future, everything is a blessing, everything works out. Your love life, your finances, your household, your sisters. I hope that at the end of the day, that he did not take you this far for it to be the end.
That's
You know what I'm saying? So I am so glad that you used this platform to come out and share your story, because I had a lot of questions that I wanted to know. And it was like, how do I ask this without, intruding into your personal, because even though you put me a part of it, it's still like very intimate.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
it
So
is.
I appreciate you coming through.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you getting
I
pretty coming through.
appreciate you too for letting me be able to come on here, Jada, please. Oh my God. For letting me be able to come on here and just
My mom My mom.
just be the sweetest.
Right.
They really do. But I appreciate you for allowing me to come on here and just share my story, because there might be someone else that's going through the same thing, whether it's fear of knowing that something is wrong with them or just like not having faith at all. And I just want everybody to know, like, you have to live by faith and not by sight.
Yes.
Because that's important.
Yeah,
That's
so
everything.
and I appreciate
And
your
keep God
sister.
first. Like, he is number one. He has been number one throughout this whole thing. From the confirmations I was getting to the doctor's names, like to the date of my diagnosis. Like, I was looking deep into those things because I knew it was something behind it. You get it, and when I went to look up the number 17 in the Bible, like, I got the answer that I needed. I got the confirmation that I was gonna get through it. So it's just walk by faith and not by sight, and just believe that God will get you through any situation. Like, even though the doctors tell you, well, hey, you won't make it, or even though other people might tell you, hey, you won't get through it, as long as you keep that faith, then just know you'll be all right.
And one thing I do love, you said it, even when you were posting little things that you were posting on social media, you always mention God. You always mention your faith. You know what I'm saying? And then I think that in this time, the fact that you said even in the shower you get on your knees and pray, and you be in a room by yourself and pray, that speaks volume within itself. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate your sisters being here. I appreciate you guys putting this together. Let me say, first of all, I'm going to say this. I appreciate Gino for even, when he said it, listen, I sat here like this. I was like, wait. Where he going to take, just the same thing that Alani just did.
Yeah.
I just sat there listening. Like, I didn't even stop him.
Yeah.
But, because I didn't know where it was going to go. But I appreciate him even just dropping that, that seed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And letting it blossom into something bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I never thought about it like this. I never thought, hey, Tina, come through and do this. And if Gino didn't mention it, you know what I'm saying? Then we wouldn't be here. Because I didn't want to use your situation as like, oh, let me use her to, But I mentioned it to you. That he mentioned it. You said it was fine. I played it for you. You said it was fine. And then, all of this came through.
Yeah. It's all God's doing. It's all God's doing.
Yeah, definitely. Everything fell in place at the time that it needed to fall in place. And so,
you're never too young to get any type of cancer. You're never too young.
And that's why I want to share it. I'm 28, just turned 28 this year in January, so. And then the doctor had told me I must have had it like probably for 25. Yeah.
Because the cancer grows microscopic.
Yeah.
So it takes a while. And for her to be stage 3.
That size,
Yeah, because there was a 28-year-old girl when I had my nonprofit, my breast cancer nonprofit, and she was 28. She had 2 kids, and she passed away from breast cancer. So a lot of people do think that you have to be like up your age. You start to see people younger and younger getting it. So we definitely have to be mindful of how we handle and take care of ourselves. Like I said again, thank you guys for coming out. And Thank you for the kids for making this recording a lot more terrible.
We need to have
Look,
a TV show.
Right at this point, we about
Alani over there about to pull Sammy wig off.
yeah, and he's rubbing on my hands right here.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, and then, oh my gosh. Well, anyways, I enjoyed everybody being here. Look, all the kids, y'all say hey.
Hey,
Right?
Get up.
Look, she crying.
Get
She
up.
low-key crying.
Okay, good.
Auntie Sammy.
Okay, so be
Well,
quiet.
Until next time, guys, tell us what's on your mind, all right?